Good morning, friends. I'm Dr. Ajay Shah, bringing this another Facebook Live. I've been doing a series on weight loss. I've done 11 segments, so please watch the series on weight loss. I've done also a series on high blood pressure last week. So if you or your loved one has high blood pressure, please watch that series on high blood pressure. I started these two new series. One of them is on depression, and other one is on how to live up to age 110. And this live right now is the segment two on depression. Again, segment two on depression. Please watch segment one on depression on YouTube. If you have not watched it, please also watch other videos on our YouTube channel, Healthy Living with Dr. Ajay Shah. So I have covered segment one depression. Let me quickly recap it. Uh, if you want to prevent the depression, if you want to prevent the relapse of depression, exercise, sleep, avoidance of alcohol, meditation, all those things are very important. Let's start with segment two now. Next thing you can do in terms of preventing depression or preventing the relapse of depression is breathing exercise or pranayam, we call it. Pranayam. Breathing exercise are all different type of breathing exercise. I have a separate video on YouTube on how to do breathing exercise. So please watch that video. You can actually just start observing your breath. You can close your eyes, sit down in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and let just air move through your nose in a slowly way. And you can do that about 5 to 10 minutes once or twice a day, just observing your breath with closed eyes. Or you can do a regular breathing exercise like different type of pranayams. Next thing you can do to prevent the depression or relapse of the depression is have adequate amount of omega-3. Have adequate amount of omega-3. Omega-3 is an essential fatty acid which you can get it from fish, or if you are a vegan, then you can get it from algae-based supplements. You can get it from walnuts and other seeds, including flax seeds. If you take walnuts and flax seeds, your body has to convert that ALA to DHA and EPA. And so this conversion is not many times very efficient as we get older. So sometimes taking algae-based DHA supplement is the right thing to do. I myself take fish oil supplements. As you know, I suffer from depression, and I take adequate amount of omega-3 every day. So make sure you get adequate amount of omega-3. Uh, Try to also have less omega-6 in your diet. Omega-6 typically comes from vegetable oils, so try to avoid vegetable oils as much as possible. Next thing you can do to prevent the depression or prevent the relapse of depression is having adequate vitamin D. You should be taking vitamin D supplement if you're not getting enough sunlight exposure. Vitamin D levels are very low in Americans. Matter of fact, whenever I see a patient, their vitamin D level is anywhere from 15 to 25. Ideally, vitamin D level should be 50 to 70 in the blood. So I want you to have adequate amount of vitamin D. You should either take daily vitamin D, one to 2,000 units, or you can take 10,000 units per week, or you can take 50,000 units per month. You can buy all these vitamin D supplements from Amazon for very cost effective way. So make sure you have adequate amount of vitamin D. Vitamin D has been proven actually to prevent the depression and prevent the relapse of depression. It also helps with bipolar depression also to make sure your vitamin D level is adequate. Recently, I had my vitamin D level checked and it was 72. So my vitamin D level is excellent. Next thing you can do to prevent the depression and prevent the relapse of depression is getting enough exposure to sunlight. Sunlight is not only just good for you to get the vitamin D, but is also good for your mood. So if sunlight is available with sunscreen, expose yourself at least 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight every day. At work, I try to go out every day, at least 15 to 20 minutes. I just walk outside in the sunlight and bath in the sunlight and enjoy my sunlight. As you know, as many of you know, I've suffered from depression, and I take sunlight as a very serious thing, and I try to expose myself to sun at least 15 to 30 minutes every day. So if you have access to sun, make sure you go out and enjoy some sunlight. Next thing you can do, which is an important habit to create, is journaling every day. Journaling every day has shown to cause prevention of depression as well as prevention of relapse of depression. And you can journal either in your phone on a note function, or you can journal in a book with a pen and paper. So journaling every day is very important. Journaling essentially is reflecting in writing. So I want you to journal every day. I have a separate video on YouTube how to journal. Journal can be just how your day went, what stressful events you had, how did you overcome that, even possibly what did you eat, how much sleep did you get, what plans you made for the future. Anything, wherever goes on in your life, you should journal every day. Please watch my separate video on how to journal. It's already available on YouTube. Just scroll down on YouTube channel and you will find that video, how to journal. Um, Also, I want you to make a habit of reflecting every evening for 10 to 15 minutes. When you come home from work, sit down in a quiet place, close your eyes, and reflect how your day went. Daily reflections are very important. Making a habit of daily reflections not only prevent depression, prevent the relapse of depression, but it also makes you more successful and makes you more proactive. When you reflect in an active way, you actually figure out most of the problem and their solution. So reflect every day, at least 10 to 15 minutes, a late evening, like 7 or 8 o'clock after your dinner, and see how your day went. Next thing I want you to do to prevent the depression and prevent the relapse of depression is maintaining gratitude journal. Gratitude journal, one of the most important thing you can do to prevent the depression or prevent the relapse of depression is gratitude journal. We all should be thankful for what we have received in our life. Every person is able to give a gratitude journal. For example, for myself, living in America, living in a nice house, having a good job, having a good career, having good wife, having good kids, living parents, having brother, having sister, having in-laws, having great friends, living in Midwest, driving a nice car, all those things, having a good health, all those things are my gratitude. Having a financial stability, all those things are my gratitude. And I recite those gratitude every night before I go to sleep. And many times when I wake up in the morning, before even I put my foot on the ground, I recite my gratitude. I also have a list of those gratitudes in my phone on a note function, and I read those gratitude, those thank you, at least once or twice a week, sometimes every day. This habit has made me feel like I'm one of the fortunate person in this world, and I should be thankful and I should have gratitude to God, to my wife, to my family, to my kids, to my friends, to my parents for all the things I've received in my life. And believe it or not, when we have that kind of gratitude, it prevents depression. It also prevents the relapse of depression. So have gratitude every day, maintain a gratitude journal, and write in that journal as new things happen to you, and thank God and thank everybody who has given you those things in your life. Uh, Also, when you have gratitude in your life, it increases your intrinsic happiness also. I have a separate video on YouTube on happiness. Please watch that video on happiness also. Next thing you can do to prevent depression and prevent relapse of depression is eat healthy. Eating healthy means eating more plants, more vegetables, more fruits, more intact grains, no oil, and as little animal products as possible. I have separate video on healthy eating. Obviously, I'm sure many of you have watched it, but try to eat as healthy as possible with mostly plant-based food. If you only have animal products, try to restrict to no more than 10% of your calories from animal products. So again, have whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. When you eat whole food plant-based diet and you don't take any processed food, depression chances goes down. Actually, matter of fact, there is a book called Fast Food Genocide by Dr. Joe Furman, and in that book he clearly says that the reason chances of depression in America has gone up over the last 40 years is because of people eating a lot of processed food. Processed food have chemicals and ingredients which disturbs your hormonal balance in your brain and which predispose you to having depression and having relapse of depression. So avoid processed food as much as possible. Um, Also, when you have animal products and processed food, you actually have a higher chance of developing chronic inflammation, including chronic inflammation in the brain, in the neurons, and that increases your chance of hormonal imbalance between serotonin, epinephrine, dopamine, and oxytocin, and that increases your risk of developing depression and having a relapse of depression. Uh, Also try to have adequate amount of intact grains, intact complex carbohydrate, because those complex carbohydrate increases levels of serotonin, the natural serotonin your body makes, and that increases your mood. It makes you happy, and it lowers the chance of depression and lowers the chance of relapse of depression. So definitely have complex carbohydrate as much as in your diet, including intact grains, including vegetables and fruits, and that will increase the serotonin, which is more of a natural way of boosting your serotonin and elevating your mood and preventing depression. Next thing, very important in life, is to have a proper support system when you are suffering from depression or if you want to prevent your first episode of depression. And support system starts with obviously your spouse, your life partner, your companion, the person you are living with in the house. And that's very important that you maintain the relation in the best way possible. In any relationship, give and take is the only way relationship will grow. But when you give, you receive, and when you receive more, you give more. So have the equation of give and take, give and receive, and keep doing more and more thing for your spouse, more and more thing for your life partner, more and more thing for your companion. And let me assure you, if you do that, you automatically will receive from your spouse, from your companion, all the things you need. So having a support system from spouse, from a companion, from a life partner is very, very important. Very important if you want to prevent depression, if you want to prevent the relapse of depression. When I went through depression 11 years ago, my wife was my rock. I think because of her, I came out of the depression. Next thing you can do is having the support of the family, and family includes having your kids, particularly if they are kids above age 15 or so, or adult kids, your family, including your brother, your sister, your in-laws, and very important that you take a support of the family if you want to prevent depression or if you want to prevent the relapse of depression. Loneliness is one of the major reasons for depression as well as relapse of depression. Try to avoid loneliness as much as possible. Matter of fact, being lonely is as bad as smoking. People who are lonely, they live less. People who are lonely, they are obese. People who are lonely, they have chronic inflammation. People who are lonely have many chronic disease, including diabetes, heart disease. So avoid loneliness as much as possible. Have support of the spouse, have support of the family, have support of the friends. So having a friends is also another important thing if you want to prevent depression. Try to have 3 to 5 friends who are very close to you, who you can talk anything about in life, who are your confidant, who actually know you very well, who know your habits, who know your style, who know what bothers you, who know what makes you happy. So having 3 to 5 friends who are almost like your brothers or sisters and having that thing in your life will prevent the depression. Obviously, if you have friends who are unhealthy, if you have friends who drink alcohol, if you have friends who go out and party until 3 o'clock in the morning, if you have friends who do drugs, then that's not good for you. Try to eliminate the friends who are not good for you, who are not healthy for you. And that will prevent the depression, that will prevent the relapse of depression. So again, having a right type of friends in life is also very important. Also, having friends who believe in the six healthy pillars of healthy lifestyle is very important. So, if your friends who eat whole food, plant based, no oil diet, then you probably will eat the same food. If your friends don't drink alcohol too much, you probably will not drink alcohol too much. If your friends have 7, 8 hours of sleep, you probably will sleep 7, 8 hours also and not stay up until 2 o'clock, 3, 4 times a week. If your friends exercise, if your friends jog, if your friends go to gym and lift weights, you probably will do the same. So having a positive influence from friends is also very important. Next thing you can do to prevent the depression and prevent the relapse of depression is having some spirituality in your life. I'm not asking you to be religious, but I'm asking you to be a spiritual person. Spiritual persons means having certain ethics, certain humanity to other living beings, certain certain like principles in life, and all those things are very important. Holding yourself accountable to all your actions, holding yourself accountable to a religion if you are a religious person, holding yourself accountable to the higher cause if you are an atheist. So again, being a spiritual person is very important if you want to prevent depression or if you want to prevent the relapse of depression. If you're a religious person visiting your church or temple or mosque or synagogue or any Buddhist temple is very important. Try to visit your worship place at least once a week, even possibly twice a week, particularly if you suffer from depression. Having a counseling and consultation with your religious leader is also very important, whether it's your priest, whether it's your imam, whether it's your pujari, whether it's your who religious leader you have in your worship place, and getting a counseling from that person is also very important. uh, Also, next thing you can do to prevent depression is try to connect to the nature as much as possible. When the weather is nice and it's a safe, walk out, be in the sun, or walk barefoot on the grass, go and sit under a tree, walk through a forest, go to a beach, watch a sunset, watch a sunrise. Anything you can do to get into the nature will prevent the depression and will prevent the relapse of depression. All these techniques I'm telling you in segment one and now in this segment two, you don't have to do all of them. But more things you do are what I'm showing you, there are less chance of developing depression, less chance of preventing the relapse of depression. So I think if you do more things, then you will have a stable mind, stable life, and you will prevent the depression and you will prevent the relapse of depression. So again, follow as many things as you can. Next thing you can do is just having simple routine of chanting 5 minutes to 10 minutes every day. You can chant on a word of your choice. If you're religious, you can chant a word on a religious word or religious poem or anything, whatever your religion recommends. If you are not religious person, then just chanting on any word or two or even on any sentence is fine. You can chant probably even in your pet's name, or you can chant on your son's name or daughter's name or spouse name, whatever. But you can chant on any word which makes you relax, which makes you feel comfortable, which takes you into trance state. So chanting is very important. People who chant regularly have very low chance of depression. My mom chants every day. She has this rosary where she chants 128 times every day, and that definitely has helped her. She's 80 years old, very strong mind, very strong person. She has overcome many adversities. I think chanting definitely has helped her. So I highly recommend you to chant. I try to chant myself every day. I chant on my religious mantra called Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. That means I bow down to Lord Krishna. And that chant has definitely helped me. Whenever I have any increase in my stress in life, I just quickly chant a few times and it instantly relaxes me. So chanting is very important tool to have if you suffer from depression or if you want to prevent the relapse of depression. So I will stop here. This was segment number two on depression. Please watch the segment one on YouTube on depression and then watch this segment two again. Watch multiple times, take notes, implement as many techniques as you can, and I can assure you, you will prevent the depression and you will prevent the relapse of depression. Many doctors you see, they are ready to prescribe you antidepressant, but many doctors don't have time and they don't show you all the techniques how you can change the lifestyle, what things you can do other than taking antidepressant to prevent the depression and prevent the relapse of depression. Please watch my segment one on depression. Segment one, I go into details why depression happens, why relapse prevention is very important, how in between each episodes of depression, how you can cut down those episodes, how you can be happier, how you can live a full life. I always I always caution you that if you have any suicidal thought, please reach out for help as soon as possible. Call 911 if necessary. Call your doctor, call your psychiatrist if necessary. Uh, have a great afternoon. Have a great Memorial Day. Meditate, eat healthy, exercise, spend time with family, spend time with spouse, sit in the sunlight, go in the nature, relax, and prevent the depression. You can also watch the video on high blood pressure, which is already on YouTube. You can also watch the video on how to live 110 years old. I've done two segments on it. Those are very interesting segments. Matter of fact, my most favorite topic is how to live 110 years old. And there are two segments on YouTube, so please watch those two segments. Have a great afternoon. See you soon. Thank you.